Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a pile of sources, all focused on the recent storm surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs. And our mission is to really cut through the noise here. This isn't just about wins and losses. It's a look at how a major organization tries to manage a crisis when, well, everything seems to go wrong at the same time.
Yeah, it's a fascinating situation because the pressure didn't build slowly. It just, boom, it hit all at once.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The sources give us this really compressed timeline of chaos. You've got a key injury on defense, a coach gets fired, and then you have the GM making these high-stakes comments.
Exactly. We're looking at how the front office, led by GM Brad Treliving, tried to stabilize things. And his strategy was really interesting.
How so?
He immediately tried to focus the narrative on internal accountability, not on quick fixes, not on trades that everyone was screaming for.
And you have to look at the facts on the ground, right?
Exactly.
A huge defensive hole, a power play that just completely collapsed, and then one of your best scorers is suddenly out.
It's the perfect storm. So we're going to break down exactly what Treliving said, why the fans were reportedly so furious, and how a couple of unexpected things.
Like the late-game lineup change.
And even a former player's holiday tweet, of all things, just poured gasoline on the fire. It's a lesson in how fast you can lose control of the story.
Let's start with the most immediate problem they had on the ice.
Yeah.
The defensive crisis.
Yeah.
It all blew up with the injury to veteran defenseman Chris Tanev.
Right. And you have to understand who Tanev is to get why this hurts so much. He's 36 years old. He's not a big point getter or anything.
2 assists in 11 games.
Exactly. His value is being that stabilizer. He eats up tough defensive minutes. He's your number one guy on the penalty kill. He's the guy the coach sends out to, shut things down.
And the timing was just brutal. He had just come back from another injury, and now this groin strain is confirmed to keep him out for, quote, significant time.
That created this massive uncertainty. The immediate impact was, well, it was huge. His absence just magnified every other mistake on the blue line.
So you're forced to play less experienced guys in bigger roles.
And your margin for error just vanishes. It's zero. And the sources pointed out there was no clear timeline for his return, which, from a planning perspective, is just a nightmare.
So with that news breaking, all eyes immediately turned to the general manager, to Brad Treliving. How did he respond?
Well, outlets like Yahoo Sports and NHL.com reported his comments, and he was very direct. He said the team's performance was, and this is a direct quote, not acceptable.
But he didn't stop there.
No, and this is the key part of his strategy. He used that moment to push his message of shared accountability. He very deliberately steered the conversation away from making a panic trade.
Right, I saw the quote, "The job of all of us is to maximize the people you've got and get them to play at the highest level."
That's the one. And that's a tough message to sell to a fan base that's watching their team, bleed goals every night.
So he basically came out and said trades aren't the answer here.
Explicitly. He said trades alone would not solve the team's problems. He kept hammering home words like execution, consistency, internal improvement. It was all about belief in the current group.
But is it really belief?
Yeah.
Or is that just smart crisis management? You don't want to kill the trade value of your own players by sounding desperate.
It's a little of both, for sure, but it's mostly about insulating his head coach and his star players. He's telling the market, and more importantly, his own locker room, I'm not panicking. I believe in you. Now go out and perform. It's a high-risk play.
But that internal focus didn't mean there were no consequences, because the pressure did force a pretty big change on the bench.
Oh, absolutely. The next domino was assistant coach Mark Savard getting fired. And this wasn't a personality clash or anything like that.
No, this was pure numbers.
Pure numbers. He ran the power play, and the power play had catastrophically collapsed.
The stats are just staggering. When he was let go, they were dead last in the entire NHL. A 13.3% conversion rate.
Yeah. And you have to understand, for our listeners, a decent power play is around 20%. They were failing to score almost 87% of the time. They had a man advantage.
And in December alone, the sources highlighted this, they had 27 opportunities and scored twice.
It's it's a complete failure. Savard was a recent hire, brought in to work with head coach Craig Berube, who he knew from St. Louis. But after a 1-4-1 stretch, that was it. The power play was the trigger.
Yet, Treliving was very careful with the messaging here too, wasn't he? He didn't just clean house.
Not at all. He fired Savard, but then immediately came out and gave his full support to the head coach, Craig Berube. He said Berube didn't, quote, become a bad coach overnight.
So he's drawing a very clear line.
A very strategic one. He's sacrificing the assistant who's responsible for the single worst part of the team's performance, but he's protecting the head of the whole operation.
It was framed as a move to change the dynamic, right?
Exactly. Not to assign blame to one guy. It all feeds back into a central theme. Shared responsibility. The blame gets spread around, but the core leadership stays intact. The message to the players is, the system is fine, you need to execute.
And the power play duties just got absorbed by the other assistants, Derek Lowland and Mike Van Ryn.
Right. Business as usual, just with one less coach.
So just when you think the organization has maybe started to contain the crisis, the universe decides to throw them a curveball.
And at the worst possible moment, a massive last-minute wrench in the works.
We're talking about the sudden lineup shock with William Nylander.
Yeah, this one came out of nowhere. Right before puck drop, top scorer William Nylander is a late scratch. Lower body injury.
And the sources really emphasize how disruptive this was.
Yeah.
He was in the warm-ups, going through all the pregame routines. He was expected to play.
And then, moments before the game, he's ruled out. The ripple effect is immediate. Because it was so late, they couldn't call anyone up from the minors.
So they have to figure it out on the fly.
Completely on the fly. The coaches are literally, in the final minutes before the game, redrawing their entire forward group. Guys from the bottom six are suddenly playing top 6 minutes.
And it messes with your special teams too, I imagine. Nylander's a key guy there.
A huge part of the power play. So all that chemistry, all that planning, it just goes out the window. You're making adjustments in real time under game conditions.
And we should probably explain what losing Nylander specifically means, beyond just the goals.
Yes. For anyone learning about the game's finer points, he's not just a scorer. He's one of the best puck carriers on the team. He's critical for what we call zone exits and controlled entries.
So getting the puck out of your own end cleanly and carrying it into the offensive zone with control.
Exactly. Without him, that whole process breaks down. It puts a huge burden on your other top forwards to do that difficult work.
And Coach Berube's comments didn't exactly clear things up.
No, he stuck to the script. Day to day. We'll see how he responds, which is standard coach speak, but it just adds to the sense of instability. They can't plan for tomorrow, let alone next week.
Okay, so let's shift focus to the external pressure, because it wasn't just coming from inside the rink. A simple social media post became a huge flashpoint.
Ah, yes, the Mitch Marner holiday message. This is a perfect case study in how a big, passionate market can interpret or misinterpret things.
So set the scene for us. Marner is a former Leaf, now with the Vegas Golden Knights, and on Christmas Day, he posts a holiday message.
A very simple message. All it said was he was hoping for a long playoff run. That's it.
Sounds harmless enough.
In any other context, it would be. But you have to remember where the Leafs were at that moment. They were near the bottom of the conference. Their goals against were terrible. The power play was a joke.
And Marner was the face of that franchise for years, intrinsically linked to all their past playoff failures.
So the fan base and the media, they saw that post and it just exploded. They didn't see a holiday wish. They saw a subtle, pointed jab at his old team's struggles.
The reaction was that fast.
Instant. Screenshots were flying around, discussion threads blew up. That one little post got more attention than pretty much any other player's holiday message. It just completely reignited the pressure on the team during what's supposed to be a quiet time in the season.
It's amazing how an organization can lose control of the narrative, not because of anything they did, but because of a ghost from their past.
It just shows you the unique pressure of that market. Every single thing is filtered through this lens of past failure.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here, the picture that emerges is of an organization just under siege from every possible angle.
You've got it all. A key injury to a veteran leader like Tanev, a sudden offensive absence with Nylander. You have a GM trying to project calm and stability.
While the external world is just pure chaos, even a holiday tweet becomes a crisis.
So what does this all mean for the Leafs going forward? I mean, their immediate future really hinges on their ability to just execute with a razor-thin margin for error until they get healthy.
And Treliving's strategy is now set in stone, right? Shared accountability, support the coach.
It is, but that calm, methodical approach is being tested every single day by the reality of the standings and these unexpected injuries.
There's this incredible tension between the controlled message the organization wants to send, Treliving's calm